don't I don't feel we're in a spot where we can get overly upset with winning a game. You know, there's no doubt about it. There was parts of that game where I thought we were really good. Unfortunately, most of those parts were early. All in all, we stayed resilient. I thought we actually played a pretty decent third period. We had a good power play there where we created a bunch of chances and just weren't able to capitalize. We thought one went in, but up until their late power play goal there, I thought we had a pretty good third period. So really, with the exception of the second and our penalty kill in general, I thought we had a pretty good game.
What did you like about the first period?
I just thought our puck pursuit, and I thought our offensive zone play was really good. Our cycling, our decisions with the puck, and to go to the point when it was there, get pucks in the net. I thought we did a nice job of putting pucks and bodies towards their net, which was one of our focuses. And unfortunately, in the second period, we got away from it, and the momentum swung to Huntsville, which they deserved. I mean, they worked their rear ends off. They didn't quit. And that's what I didn't like about the second. We weren't able to get to our game at all. So as effective and good as we were to get to our game in the first, that's how poor we were in the second in doing that. And obviously, like I said, the lack of executing on the special teams is something that we just it's been not good to this point in the season, and we're going to continue to work on it and continue to make sure there's people out there that realize that we need to be better in those situations.
You came out with that big 3-0 lead. What was kind of going through your mind with how you guys are playing?
Well, I thought we were playing outstanding. I mean, going through my mind and what we were saying on the bench was just don't change anything. We've tried, and this is something that everybody does at all levels, I know, is we don't want to pay attention to the scoreboard ever. You know, our focus is shift in, shift out, play in, play out, and then, one period, two periods, and three periods. So we didn't want to get too high or too low, and that's another thing we've been focusing on. 3-0, 0-0, we continue to play the same way. And I thought for the most part we were able to do that. Their first power play goal I thought was a little bit unlucky with Peltoma made a great block, and it just kind of sat there, and they found it before we did. They were opportunistic on the power play, and that gave them a little momentum, which I thought the end of the first period came at a perfect time. We weren't able to gather ourselves and get any momentum back, and that's disappointing. If we had to come out obviously in the second like we did in the first, maybe it's a different game. But again, credit to Huntsville. I thought they did a nice job of staying. They were resilient. They kept battling, and it ended up being a tight game.
Coach, you talk a little bit about Fink and Vasily coming into the lineup and making an impact.
Yeah, I thought they did a great job. I mean, both of them have been working. We thought in two different situations. Ryan is somebody's just energy, and Michael has some pretty good skill to his game. So we thought there would be a nice complement with Wallace and the three freshmen playing together there. And man, did they provide a spark for us 5-on-5? And I don't think it was just the first period. I think it was all three. I think Michael had a goal there in the second period, 5-on-5. So I think all in all, they did a great job, and it's a credit to those guys to not having played the first 4 games and to get their opportunity and go out there and take advantage of it.
In the first period, you guys looked like you were really focusing on playing behind the net, winning those board battles. Is that something you saw in the scouting?
No, what we saw in the scouting was a D-zone coverage from them that we felt like we could have some success playing the puck possession cycling game that we want to play. It's not necessarily has to be behind the net. I think tonight it ended up being below the goal line. That can happen anywhere below the circles as far as we're concerned. And I think we just got into a little bit of a rhythm, and we're just wave after wave of offensive zone play, and it's something we work on a lot every week, and we focus on and stress on that we want it to be a big part of our game. And we were able to have some success there in the first.
Are Williamson and Moore out tomorrow night?
I'm not sure. I really don't know the status of both of them right now. I would think if I had to say something, I would probably say Williamson would be, just because, again, a head injury is something we want to give him the most time possible. And we talked about this with a couple people before the game. We don't want this shoulder injury to be a whole season with Moeller back and good, bad, taking steps backwards after a bunch of steps forward. So we're going to take the angle of caution for sure, but I don't know their status as of right now.
Any other questions, guys? All right. Thank you, Coach.